The Central Committee of the party had a two-day meeting. The main agenda was the review of the Lok Sabha elections, and a report giving the review has been discussed and adopted in the Central Committee. We had a in-depth discussion and critical assessment of the poor performance of our party in these elections. The Politburo and the central leadership has taken full responsibility for the failure to advance the party and the decline in the mass base of the party. This has been reflected in the election results too. As far as West Bengal is concerned, the CPIM and the Left Front has suffered a very serious reverse. And we heard a report from the West Bengal committee about the reasons behind this bad performance, and discuss the political and organizational steps which are required to reorient the party, to forge links with the people, to be able to take up the issues of the working people and conduct movements and struggles, and to take immediate steps to defend and protect the party and its cadres who are facing severe attacks and violence in the state. As far as Tripura is concerned, the CPIM and the Left Front has done spectacularly well, winning both the seats in the state with huge margins and getting 64.4% of the total votes polled, as a result of which all candidates of the opposition, of all parties, have lost their deposits. This is because of the good work done by the Left Front government there, and the party's successful intervention in all issues concerning the people. In Kerala, the LDF was able to improve its performance by winning 8 out of the 20 seats. But this was below the expectations of our party in the given favorable political situation in the country. So the review of the Kerala State Committee was discussed, and measures to advance the LDF's and the party's influence among different sections of the people was also taken note of. On the basis of this conclusions we have arrived at in the review, since this is a all India election, one, we have decided that we must review the political line of the party, the current political line that we are pursuing, to examine it to see whether this is adequate and whether it has met the necessities of the situation, because there is alienation of the party from sections of the people. What should be done to overcome it? In that connection, we have decided to also initiate studies on the impact of liberalization and the neoliberal policies in the last 2 decades on our society, its impact on various classes, the differentiation that has taken place within these classes, and the resultant change in their outlook and values. This is necessary for us to arrive at correct slogans, demands, and the way we raise issues which will meet the needs of the people. Both this review of the political line and the study which we will undertake should help us to adopt a more correct political tactical line in the future. As far as the party organization is concerned also, we are going to undertake in-depth analysis and review of the functioning of our party organization, the way our party units are functioning, their work among the people, why we are not able to translate the various struggles and movements we have conducted into political influence, why we are failing to initiate movements and struggles where required. All this will be gone into so that we bring about the necessary revamping of the organization and the changes in the organization. As far as the West Bengal situation is concerned, even after the elections, there has been a widespread attacks on the CPIM and left supporters all over the state. During the election campaign and subsequently, even after the results, 10 of our party members and supporters have been killed, including 2 women comrades. We have decided to conduct a countrywide campaign in solidarity with the CPIM and the Left Front in West Bengal and against the violence and for protection of democratic rights in the state. As far as the new government is concerned, now that the Narendra Modi government has taken office, the people expect the new government to address their immediate burning problems like price rise, agrarian distress, unemployment, rising crimes against women, and so forth. But in the short period since this government has taken office, some of the issues which this government has raised are divisive and counterproductive. The first is the talk about the abrogation of Article 370 in the Constitution. This was a solemn commitment given to the people of Kashmir at the time of accession to India, and that special status has been enshrined in Article 370. Talk of abrogation of this article will only lead to more alienation among the people in Kashmir, and the government should desist from such moves. We have to wait for the government to come out with its full set of economic policies, but some of the moves which are afoot. The other disturbing feature is that from the time of the election results or the time of the polling being over on 12th May, there have been a spate of communal incidents and clashes in the country. We are compiling those now, but so far we have seen there have been 2 clashes in Gujarat, 2 or 3 in Uttar Pradesh, 2 or 3 in Maharashtra, Karnataka also, in Bijapur and Bangalore there have been incidents and tension. And we saw how a young Muslim IT professional was brutally killed in Pune recently by members of an extremist Hindu organization. These are, I think, not isolated incidents, but the mood of triumphalism after the BJP's victory is being reflected by this Hindu extremist efforts to create communal tensions and violence. We also have, again, alarming incidents of attacks on women and children. The Badaun atrocity is there. There are other cases in other places, in other states. But the attitude of the UP state government and of some of the home ministers of Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh to rape is shocking and totally insensitive, and it is giving a wrong signal to the administration and the police regarding the tackling of such crimes. So we have demanded that the state governments concerned should take firm and effective steps to bring those culprits to book and take punitive action so that signal goes that such crimes will not be tolerated. You see, the report is just getting finalized after discussion, but rigging and violence and intimidation was one of the main reasons for the electoral debacle that we have suffered. Out of the 77,000 and odd booths, our estimate is 10,000 booths were completely rigged or manipulated, and 7,000 booths were partially affected. But rigging is not the sole reason for our defeat or failure. We have not been able to recover ground that the erosion that was suffered earlier in the assembly election in 2011 and also in the 2009 Lok Sabha election. The other is that the rise in the BJP's strength of vote, we had underestimated the impact of the BJP and the Modi campaign in this election in West Bengal. And as a result, a section of the votes which used to be cast for the left has also gone to the BJP. Neither in the Politburo or the Central Committee was there any issue about anybody wanting to resign. I want to make that clear. The issue for us, in a Communist Party, nobody resigns on because of election results. Or victory or defeat has no bearing for us on that. But what we have to take responsibility for, as I said, is for the central leadership has taken responsibility. We are responsible for implementing the political organization line of the party, to advance the party, to expand its political influence, to expand its mass base. We have failed to do so. That has reflected in the election results. We have taken responsibility for that. And that is why we are undertaking this political and organizational examination to arrive at what is wrong or what is the thing, and that according to that basis we'll bring about the necessary political and organizational changes.